Welcome everybody. Today I just want to do a quick little video to show you what to do in the lab this week. This week we're doing a soil texture and a soil structure, and so I just want to show you where to get your samples from, as well as a little bit on how to do what we're going to do today. So away we go, and good luck with the lab. We need to take two soil samples today, one from a field and one from a non-field area. So that would be a woodlot like you see behind me, or a fence row, or even a roadside would work under turf. If you don't live on a farm or don't have access to a farm, then you can go out and take a sample from turf. Don't dig too big a hole, but you can take a sample from turf, and you can also take a sample from a flower garden. And those are the two samples you will use if you're not from a farm. So to collect your samples, you need two things. You need a shovel or something to dig the soil out. If you're digging in turf, make sure it's a small trowel or something, because you don't want to make too big a hole. And you also need plastic bags to take your samples in. Okay, make sure you keep them separate so you know which sample is in which bag. So you might want to label your bags with a Sharpie, and then you can take them back and do the experiments that we're going to do on them. Remember, there's a YouTube video I want you to watch on how to do soil texture by feel, and that is linked in your lab assignment. It's a good idea to clear the organic material away from the surface before you dig, because then you don't have to pick it out later. Okay, so this is the sample that we got from the soybean field. So the field, and so what you want to do is you want to get rid of anything like this, the sticks, the leaves, all that stuff. And then using paper towel, dump it on the paper towel, and you want to break up any of these big clumps that you have. Not too much, but you want to break them up gently, and so that you don't have any of these really large clumps like this, and you have smaller ones. And that's the first step for doing your soil texture by feel. And once you've done that, for the second part of the lab, what I want you to do is I want you to take select a reasonably sized aggregate like this one. Oops, here I'll put it where you can see it against a white background. So a reasonably sized aggregate, put it to one side, and then put the rest of the stuff back that you haven't used for texture back into the bag. Take the second sample. In my case, it's from a woodlot, and do the same thing and select a aggregate of the same size as from the first bag. And then I'll show you what to do next. So as you can see, we now have two dishes with some water in them, and this is for the second part of the lab the lab, where I want to take the equal sized aggregates that you selected and then drop them into the water. So you just want enough water so that these aggregates can be submerged. Drop them in like that, let them sit for a few minutes, and then come back and observe what happens later and answer the questions on the lab. Okay, so that is what we want to do today in the lab, and hopefully this helps you figure out what I wanted you to do, and away you go and finish the lab up.